little bit safe with the juniper.
I thought the meat was cooked pretty well. The potato was like, what?
In retrospect, I shouldn't even put it on the plate.
It sounds like the only reason you wanted it on the plate was to show us this chain link fence thing.
I thought the flavors would go nicely together.
You may be living and dying by that sweet potato fence.
Wait.
Any idea why you're here, Beverly?
Maybe less protein versus...
We're also trying to balance two chefs in one plate.
You know, when the plate arrived, the first bite I had of the leg was really good, while the breast still had, you know, another 5 or 8 minutes of rendering.
I thought the duck, although the skin wasn't crispy enough, it was very tender. And
it felt not so much like a finished dish, but a collection of ingredients.
We also don't really, like, even throughout this entire competition, we have not seen eye to eye.
I think we eat it.
I do. I think our work ethics are completely different. I do. Especially in the last challenge. In the last challenge, you really had shrimp. That's really what you focused on for 2 days.
Wow. That just really hits me because I have a really strong work ethic. And that's 400 shrimp peeled, deveined perfectly. She helped me peel them at the very end, but I didn't ask you to.
No, your teammate did.
I'm not liking this conversation. I think she is an extremely hardworking, strong cook. I mean, she kicks butt in the kitchen. Because everybody doesn't see eye to eye, that happens in everyday life.
So how did this manifest itself today? You didn't trust her?
She doesn't trust herself. Sometimes you don't have enough self-confidence to push through and get the results.
Teamwork is asking questions and making sure we're on the same page. And I do have confidence, but it comes off in a different way. I still think that the dish was a very delicious dish, and I stand by it.
Thank you. That'll be all.
Thanks.
What did they say?
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of things came up. Bev, I'm sorry if you think that I hurt your feelings, but that's the truth. Yeah, I didn't call you out in the last challenge at the judges' table, and you know what? I felt like I had no say in our dish. I kept telling you I didn't want to do anything Asian. You didn't listen to any of my ideas.
They didn't say they didn't like the Asian flavors.
They thought the whole dish was confusing. They're not wrong.
Definitely think Heather crossed the line. I just don't work that way. I don't feel better when I put someone else down. It makes me feel worse.
I just feel like selling her out may have sold you out.
Selling her out.
Not, okay, no, stop.
No, you stop. You guys don't speak up. Everybody who has worked with Bev on a team, all that has
that doesn't mean that I think she has bad work ethic.
There's 13 people trying to create a dinner for 200 people, and one person works on shrimp for 2 days? Seriously? What would you do if that was one of your cooks or your sous chefs? Think about it.
I don't really understand why you would call out your partner, because it's a double elimination. Like, you're going home too.
Ultimately, we worked as a team. Every discipline
Correct.
on that
and I
dish
took full responsibility for it.
is together, you know what I mean?
I don't want to be on the bottom. I want to be on the bottom because it's my own stuff. That I did it. That I had control of everything on that plate. That's when I want to get sent home if it's not good enough. Not because somebody else played a part in what I have put out.
I think clearly the pressure of the competition is starting to wear on some of them.
Yeah, but that's kind of irrelevant. We don't really care. I agree 100% with your peers who sent it back. I thought this is exactly who should be here.
Yeah, and I think there's a good chance that Grace and Chris could go home just because of those ideas that he had.
Sure.
They just weren't well executed.
First and foremost, think about flavor. Think about the direction the dish is going to, and then if you can work that stuff in, work it in. But don't start with this idea, and then everything else has to work around it.
Aisha and Dakota didn't come through on delivering the main part of the plate, which is the venison.
The rest of their dish was, I think, so good.
It was great.
So delicious.
Really delicious. I mean, that gratin was fabulous. I was really surprised to hear that Aisha didn't check
Me too.
in on that venison when it came out of the oven. Just another set of hands, you know.
If you're working well as a team, you have no problem with somebody coming over and going, is it right? Is it good?
Yeah.
Is it accurate? Heather and Beverly just flaws in their teamwork.
And portion-wise, it was just too big. It was a big, messy plate of food.
Heather was holding it against Beverly for something that happened in previous challenges. This is Top Chef. Yep. Every day is new.
You gotta have a baseball memory. You strike out one time, you get to the plate, you can't talk about the strikeout you had last time.
Yep.
So you come into the next challenge, you gotta make it happen.
Well, I think we know which team had the worst dish tonight. Okay, let's get them out here.